So I'm Sarah. I'm one of the founders here at Canny. Canny is a feedback management tool. So we help other teams make informed product decisions by using their feedback. Really, it's about getting your customers closer to your product. And so how do you collect feedback from them? How do you manage it? How do you organize it? And then how do you use that information to inform your decisions? So if we look at companies without Canny, often if they are collecting feedback at all, they're using spreadsheets, Slack, stuff like that. It's pretty hard to really understand the feedback and drill into it and quantify it. And so Canny helps you organize it, helps you dig into it if you need more insight, stuff like that, and then helps you prioritize it. So, given that our engineering team is so small, how do we make sure we're working on the right things? So it's really about optimizing your team and making sure that you're working on what's most high impact for you. Missive is interesting because we've been using it since very early on, since we were a team of two. And I believe you guys found us first, which is interesting, right? Because, at the time we were very curious about everyone who was signing up for Canny. So what are these people doing? And, when we saw Missive, it was something where we were like, hey, it's better than Gmail. It has a lot more functionality on top of Gmail. So why don't we try this other tool? And ever since then, we've been using it, even as our team has grown and all that stuff. It's become more and more important part in handling email across the whole team. So yeah, I think we kind of fell into it. I mean, like, it's weird because it's not like, oh, we needed an email solution. Let me go find one. It was like, oh, this looks really cool. And like over time, it's like been clear that it solves a problem for us. It was so early, that we didn't feel the pains yet. We kind of grew into the pains and then the solution grew with us. I think the magic really comes in when your team is a little bit bigger and when you need to, get email to the right person. But yeah, for us, there were aliases, and it was like, okay, who's handling it? Has somebody already looked at this? Do I need to look at this? And I think at the end of the day, email is something that when you think about it, it's email. Ugh, email. I need to go through my email. But the easier we can make that, the simpler, the more relevant we can make our email, I think the easier it becomes. And it's a task that we check off every day, but it's something that's not the worst thing in the world, and making sure that we're not duplicating work. I think that's super important because we are such a small team. Only one person should really need to look at an email unless, other people need to be looped in. But ideally I know who's taking a look at it, who's got it on their mind, who's going to take care of this. And then I can have peace of mind and archive it. So I think it's about saving time and working better as a team. And yeah, we all use Missive. And I think one of the most important parts for me, in my mind at least, are like the team inboxes, making sure marketing emails go to marketing, making sure support emails go to support. And, it's like, not everyone's seeing everything. People are only seeing what they have to see. Because from my position, like as someone who's kind of managing the team, I'm not only aware of my inbox, I'm aware of other people spending unnecessary time in their inbox. So I want to make sure to protect them from things that they don't need to see or don't need to worry about. So yeah, as the team has grown, it's been really helpful to be able to say these emails go to these people. Make sure, you only see what you need to see. One of the big things for us are the rules. I think we all know, right? Like annoying emails, spammy emails, really salesy email stuff that honestly, like we don't need to see in our inbox ever again. I think that's important just to get rid of those right off the bat. But then beyond that, emails are routed to the right person, right? So for support, we have a support at email that goes to only people who are on our support team or our customer facing teams. We have, demo requests, like stuff that is more salesy that goes to our sales team. We have stuff that is marketing focus is, hey, we want to write a blog post with you, or, there's this new partnership opportunity, whatever it is, that goes to the marketing box. And so it's very like, people don't need to know the specific individual at the company for it to go to the right person. Yeah, I think one of the big things, a part of my workflow is looping in people when it's necessary without having to like forward. I think that forwarding mechanic is so outdated. It's really just like, who do I need on this? And I either do at Andrew, or I can do marketing team, which is really handy. I just can get the eyes that I need on an email. And if they have input, they can send it to me right there versus having to draft an email, sending it back. And now it's this weird like BCC, CC mess. And so that makes it really easy to just have this kind of internal conversation around emails. Yeah, that's a big one for me. And then snoozing also is big for me because there are things, I almost treat email as like my to-do list. I look at my email, these are the things I need to do to follow up with. And so sometimes when there's a prospect or someone that I'm talking to that it's important for me to keep in touch with, that's where I would snooze the email and it comes back to me when I need it to. And then that becomes a list item on my to-do list, right? So something that I need to fill out for that day. I think the only integration we use is the HubSpot one. So being able to see who I'm talking to and like if there's a deal in the works or anything like that, that's handy to have. We use it as a CRM. We use it for like metrics tracking, but in terms of sales, I think that's where it becomes important to know who is talking to this person, where is this deal, are they an existing customer, who are they, right? And just to have that information is really handy because I don't usually use my contacts. It's really like, who are these prospects that we're talking to? Give me the information I need to make sure that I'm responding to them in the right way.
Good.
We have design, we have engineering, we have finance, we have marketing, product, recruiting, sales, security, success, and support. It's almost like there's one team per person because we're still such a small team, but there is a lot of overlap because, Andrew and I were the co-founders. So we want visibility into a lot of these different areas. And so it's important to make sure the right people are on each team. And then there's people who are on multiple teams. So yeah, it's just how a small team works, I guess. Yes. So it really depends on the priority, right? So if I'm I'm an observer on marketing, like I want to keep a pulse on what's happening, but it's not urgent for me. And it's on my marketing team to really handle that. So yeah, I am an observer on that team, for example. That's pretty handy too. I think what I would say is Missive helps our team make sure emails are handled quickly and effortlessly. Yeah, I guess that's one sentence, but really just making sure that what I have in my inbox is what needs to be in my inbox, right? If it's not important, like don't be in my inbox. And of course there's spam and there's, salespeople and stuff like that, but it's also really easy for me to say, okay, this email from this person, I never want to see ever again. And that's really nice. So the rule stuff, that's super important. I think the team inbox is really crucial. Team inboxes are really crucial. Especially as we grow, right? As more people join the different teams, when I add them to Missive, I can say, okay, this person is on the sales team. This person is on marketing. And then that automatically means that they'll be tuned into those emails. And then the internal chat, super helpful when especially like me and my co-founder are talking back and forth about feature ideas or deals that are in the works, like what we want to do, what our decision points are. It's really easy, especially as a remote team, for us to have those conversations asynchronously. We all know, like with remote work, it's important to be able to do that on our own time, so that's really important. And then for me personally, snoozing, I think it seems basic, but it basically creates my to-do list. Everything that's in your inbox, these are things that need to be addressed. Check them off the list. Let me think. It works pretty well. I feel like it does the job that I need it to do. I'm sure if I sit down and think about it, I can think of something, but I think the product is great. I think, it's something where I would hate going back to Gmail. Because I feel like I would just lose so many superpowers. And so it's something where, email for me in my brain is like, oh, I have to do this thing. But once I go into Missive and I can just be like, cool, archive, archive, archive. I don't need to do anything to this. Like check, 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 acknowledge. That's all I needed to do. And I think that's great. I think it's being a remote team. I think it's being a remote team and enabling remote work and working with other people around email. Email is not always one-to-one. In a lot of cases, I want to loop in other people. And so that's important. I need to have other eyes on this, and I need to be able to do it without like having these weird forwarding chains where the email is just super long because it's just a bunch of replies or a bunch of forwards. And so it keeps it clean. It makes sense. Like, this is how team email should work in my mind. Whereas Gmail feels very much like what email used to be. It was very one-to-one. Okay, if you want someone to know about this, forward it to them. And then you have these weird chains where there's some people in a forwarded chain and some person in the original chain. And it's like, it's just a mess. So yeah, I appreciate having that clean solution.